Hello viewers! Today, we are covering the 5 best Harley Davidson brake pads on the market, which are the best for you considering some unavoidable factors that you might miss out without watching this video. Here, we are going to give you an impartial review to find the best from a plenty of irrelevant products. If you want more information and updated pricing of the products mentioned in the video, be sure to check the links in the description below. So, let's get started! Number 1. Our overall best pick for the money is EBC Brakes EBPCK 1027 Complete Double H Sintered Brake Pad Change Kit. If you are looking for the best Harley brake pads, we can recommend this EBC model. They come highly recommended in Harley Davidson online forums by Harley biking enthusiasts who have tried them out. If you are looking for brakes that stop quietly and securely, they certainly do that. Furthermore, they are durable and will last long. Some users have noted that they sometimes tend to sing when they are new, but after you do about 100 miles that problem goes away. The sound is still audible, but it is no longer loud. It is also notable that these are sintered and not organic brake pads. Sintered brake pads are famed for their ability to perform well in various conditions, including muddy terrain. Furthermore, sintered brake pads are less prone to fading on long steep descents in comparison to organic brake pads. These brake pads have the highest friction rating in 2 conditions, H-rated when hot and H-rated when cold, double H rating. That makes them excellent at braking under a variety of rider conditions, including dry or wet, cold or hot. Highlighted features: double H brakes, sintered brake pads, ECE 90 brake safety approved, TUV tested. Made in the US, state-of-the-art sintering plant in Ohio. Number 2. Our second best pick is Carbon Fiber Brake Pads ECCPP Motorcycle Replacement Front and Rear Braking Pad Kits. If the noise created by your brake pads is an annoyance to you and you are looking for relatively quiet ones, these are it. They feature a Kevlar carbon fiber compound that has anti-noise shim and that delivers a quiet braking experience. The Kevlar brake pads deliver a beautiful stopping power, which makes riding a pleasure because it gives you more control over your bike. The brake pads are minimal on noise and have no rotor galling, even in the case of polished rotors. Note that these Kevlar carbon brake pads feature a combo of high-strength fibers. These serve to reinforce the brake pad's friction material, and that leads to enhancement of thermal stability and durability while at the same time minimizing abrasion levels on the rotor. Kevlar brake pads are better than your standard organic brake pads, and they certainly rank above standard semi-metallic pads. They deliver fingertip control and a strong brake response that is predictable in spite of the terrain or conditions you are riding through. This enhances safety when riding and also the pleasure one can take in a riding experience because you can be a bit more daring in your riding. Highlighted features: front and rear position, fingertip control, no noise and rotor galling. Includes 3 pairs, 6 pads. Number 3. Our third best pick is Foreverun motor front and rear sintered brake pads. This set is among the best brake pads for Harley Davidson touring. They are sintered metal brake pads. We know that sintered brakes typically last longer than organic brake pads and that they're able to better withstand the heat generated by heavy braking. Sintered brake pads are the best when you are driving through muddy terrain. They are safer and give you more freedom to have fun when you are riding. Having sintered brake pads gives you the ability to ride through all sorts of extreme riding conditions, including mud, farm use, or racing. They also work well on winding, hilly terrain. Furthermore, sintered brake pads are long-lasting. If you have a bit of experience, installing them is a walk in the park. They fit just nearly as well as the original equipment and are compatible with Harley Davidson street cruiser motorcycles. The list of bikes compatible with the brake pads is too long to reproduce here, so follow the Amazon link to see if yours is one of them. One small issue we can point out is their tendency to produce a squeaking sound now and then. Highlighted features: can replace front and rear calipers. Sintered metal brake pads. 3 sets of brake pads. Number 4. Our fourth best pick is KMG Front Plus Rear Brake Pads. These are non-metallic organic brake pads, and they have the advantages of organic brake pads. Organic brake pads are typically made of a combination of fibers and resin. Since the materials that make up organic brake pads are generally softer than those that make up sintered brake pads. As a result, they are quieter, that is, they do not squeak loudly. These KMG brake pads consist of a combo of high-strength fibers which reinforce the friction material of the pads. The result is enhanced durability and thermal stability. It also brings down the amount of abrasion on the rotor. Note, however, that these are non-metallic organic pads, and these tend to be better than standard organic brake pads. They are also better than standard semi-metallic pads. They are, however, not as great as sintered brake pads when it comes to heat management and handling wet or muddy terrain. Installation is not difficult. You should be done in like 45 minutes, depending on how well you know what you are doing. Highlighted features: compatible with street cruiser motorcycles. Both front and rear brake pads. Non-metallic organic brake pads, non-asbestos organic. Quiet, not squeaky. Easy to install. Number 5. Last but not the least, our fifth best pick is Zinger brake pad for Harley Davidson. This is among the best brake pads for Harley Touring and is compatible with the Harley Davidson Touring Series models. Being sintered brake pads means they are ideal for wet and muddy conditions. Sintered brake pads also have a high level of resistance to fading, so if you are going biking in the mountains and you are afraid that you might give your brakes terribly hard use when coming down those long, steep descents, then these brake pads are what you absolutely need. The one problem you will have to deal with is the noisiness. They are sintered brake pads after all. It is also possible that they will be harder on the rotors, because sintered pads are made of harder material. However, that probably isn't a problem, unless you are doing really tough terrains, where you are forced to give your brakes some serious level of abuse that goes so extreme that it burns up the brake rotors. In conclusion, these brake pads will give great performance in all sorts of poor conditions: mud, rock, sandy creeks, steep terrain, crawling, etc. Highlighted features: package includes 2X front brake pads and 1X rear brake pads. Double H brake pads. Sintered brake pads. So, grab this while you can. Be sure to check the links in the description below. That's all for this review. Feel free to share your feedback.
Like, comment and share our video. Do subscribe and hit the bell icon to get more videos like this in future. Thanks for watching.